Well, hello again there, boys and girls. Let's go ahead and hop on in. So we're going to do another run at Bristol. All right. Now, the question is, can we, in the time that we have right now, all right, can we actually get this thing working the way it needs to be working? Can we do that? So let's go ahead and pull the audio up here. I think there's only one other person in this room here, which isn't the end of the world or anything, but let's take a look here. Let me close a couple things on the backside. So we've got a couple different things that we can do, all right, in terms of the setup and what we want to do. So first and foremost, let's take a look at our info here. Track's 82 degrees. Let's go to the garage. We had this. This is what we were running yesterday. It seems to race okay, but it's not very fast. It's definitely not a qualifying setup and everything. So again, the car's kind of strange. It drives a little bit odd. So we'll take it out a couple laps, just see what it does. Just take a couple minutes with it, and just see what this thing feels like. Now the big thing is it's relatively loose on throttle, especially on cold tires. If we get a little bit of heat in the tires, it seems like the car actually starts to... See what I mean right there? Let's try to really kind of float it down into the corners here. See, I mean, it doesn't really roll the bottom. Like, you can turn it with the throttle, like if we really get on it right here. And see, it wants to kind of hunt back up the track. And that's my big problem with it, is it's not a consistent loose. It's kind of a jumpy loose, if that makes sense. So we did pull a couple things out of it to try and calm it down. Now we've got a little bit of time, so we can try and play with this a little bit. Now overall, I mean, the car's kind of loose on throttle. And again, what we're looking at, there's us right there, looking at those kind of transient maneuvers. So basically, a little bit more, if we put in some front rebound, it's going to be tighter under acceleration, more rear rebound. It's going to be tighter under braking and turning. So I think we're fine on entry. So the bump is going to be, front bump versus rear bump. Rear bump's going to be tighter under acceleration. So I think we want to leave that right there. Again, this is just a minor change, personally, but again, the number that we're looking at that we want to see is that crossweight number. That's generally what I'm looking at more than anything. Our cambers, we don't have a ton of camber dialed in here. We can always put a little bit more in. But yeah, as of right now, I mean, it's at a 50.9. Now, we did take some caster out that we had put in. And again, that's going to be kind of the front turn. And we had knocked some stagger back out of it. So let's do this. Let me drop this down a half a round, which is going to loosen it up a little bit. And just see what this feels like. Yeah, Rylan, we're going to need it, buddy. And I will say we do have another setup that we can try. Haven't really put any laps on it, but if we can't get this thing to turn around, and we got 15 minutes before we jump into race session. If we can't get this thing to turn around, we may need to do that. I mean, it just doesn't want to like cut up off the corner there. It will if you run the right line, but that's really just not what we can do. And again, we're just kind of making course adjustments here to try and get the feel a little bit better. So let's go back to the garage, go back to the chassis. Let's try this. Let's try raising this up a little bit. Let's make a big swing here and just see. And again, we don't have full tape on it right now. So, I mean, we're not going to be setting any blistering times or anything like that. Really, we're just kind of looking for a feel in the car. And right now, we just don't have. Oh, man, that thing's hunting. And again, if I had one word to kind of describe the setup, is it just feels kind of slow. You know, it just doesn't feel like it really rotates in the last third of the corner. That's really the best way I can put it. It's kind of hard to put words on it, but it's really just kind of what it feels like. But let's go back. And again, and I'll, you know, we had dropped the tire pressures down a little bit. And again, I think that's probably where we ought to be because the thing kind of just straightens out a little bit. You know, once the tire pressures come up a little, which is fine. Let's try putting a little front stagger in it. And again, we're just kind of focusing all on turn right now because, like I said, we kind of do this thing where it's like, it doesn't turn, it doesn't turn, it doesn't turn. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh God, it's turning. And we're sliding all over the place. Clipped the apron there, that was my fault. The front stagger helps. Yeah, in terms of like faithfully like hard getting back to the gas. Oh, it's Brandon. Again, we just can't really get to it. You know, it just doesn't want to turn. You know, that's the big thing, is it just does not feel like turning. So again, our cross weight right now is sitting at 51. Now, let's try to focus on that a little bit. So our ride heights right now, we're still kind of bottoming out a bit, and I, again, have no idea why. We've got plenty of Packers in pretty much everything. We'll put a couple more in the rear for good measure, I guess. But we're running a 450 spring, 450, 450, and then a 425. Personally, I think that these spring rates could probably be a little bit softer in the rear and then do something with the ride height to try and get it turning. So that's one thing that we can do. Favorite race to race? I don't know. I really like the K&N cars here. It's always a lot of fun. Charlotte's a lot of fun. I like the K&N cars a lot. We missed Kansas in the A car. I like that. So the road courses can be fun if you get a decent run. So I like Watkins Glen, you know, and yeah, I don't know. I'll race anywhere. I'll race anywhere, really. Santa Lou, his favorite track hands down is USA, which I'm not a huge fan of USA. He loves that track. I don't know why. But let's jack this left rear up. I'm taking it the wrong way. Gonna sit the front end of this car right down on the track and just see what it does. Now Lou always says, he's like, oh, you don't need that much rake in the car, you don't need that much rake in the car. So if we come down and we do all this, with our spring rates all the same, we're going to kind of be stuck in this 50 range. Let's do this. Let's put it back to where we had it. Oh. Yeah, it's right about there. So let's try this. Let's try softening up these rear springs a bit. What's up, Bob? So just with softer rear springs, that should give us some more rear grip. It should tighten the car up, really. But let's try that with some softer springs in the rear, just to see what it feels like. Our cross weight kind of went the wrong way, but I want to see what it feels like, especially since we don't have that ride height work, and try to put it back. So let's just make sure we're still dealing with the same car. It's definitely slower to turn in. Definitely slower to turn in right there, which I'm not crazy about. I mean, we can fix that. I mean, we can fix it. Let's come back over here. And I really kind of liked that. But the softer springs will help out with wear a little bit. But again, see the ride heights, they change when you change these spring packages. So we put it back where we were. 51.4. It's going the wrong way. Oh. Weight's pretty much 50-50 right here. It's a little bit nose heavy in the front, which is why it's not really helping. You know what I mean? Let's try that down to a 51. I think that's a little too low over there. Let's try that. A little bit more time to tune. Have we been to any races? Yes, I have been to a number of races actually. A lot of them when I was younger. But let's see. I have been to Michigan, Atlanta, New Hampshire. Been to Watkins Glen, been to Charlotte. See what I mean? Like even taking the Highline, the car just doesn't set and go. So let's go back here and let's throw this other set that we've got at it and just see what this one feels like. So let's save this as, what the book, 2. And let's go to my setups. Nope, that's the one we just had. What is it? There we go. Let's see this one. This one's only running 6 gallons in it. Let's try this and see what this feels like. Definitely feels a lot lighter in the front end anyway. It wants to turn all by itself, we'll say that. So it's definitely quicker, but it's on the chip. And again, you kind of, especially here, where it's like you're kind of struggling, you know, you can either have the thing geared up so you're not into the chip at all, which honestly, we can better those times that we've got just by lowering the gear a little bit. Honestly, the car feels pretty tight. Like, it turns in really good, but it doesn't come up off the corner.
Car stops down low. You got one outside. You're clear high, clear high.
But before I go making some kind of crazy adjustment on it, let's run it for a couple laps and see, because the car actually feels pretty good.
Outside. All clear, all clear.
Alright, we're gonna go with this one, which was a gift from a patron who shall not be named. Only been to Texas, huh? I've never been to Indy. I would like to go to Indy. That would be cool. I still, in terms of places I want to go to Bristol, and I want to go to Darlington. But I'm trying to think of other tracks that I've been to. My parents went to Darlington. I think my mom was pregnant with me when they went to Darlington. My dad would have to chip in and, or chime in and say what's up with that. But again, not a lot of stagger in this setup. The pressures are way higher. They got the bottom there. Yep, so basically higher right side than the left side is going to make it tighter on entry, but it's going to basically loosen it up off. I think we can use a little bit of turn all the way around, so we're going to actually put a little bit of stagger in the rear to try and loosen it up on entry. See what this feels like. Actually, hold on. There's one thing I need to check. What's up, Daniel? Daytona would be cool. I know some people that go very routinely. And let's go full tape and just see what this thing will qualify like. Since we are about that time, we got 9:13 right now, it looks like. So, but again, you can see time-wise, there were people qualifying way faster than this yesterday. So. We'll see. We got 14 registered right now, so I mean, it wouldn't be like a pack split like we had yesterday. But I mean, it'll be enough cars to make it interesting.
We got a car stopped up high.
That stagger, I think that's more of a short-term kind of adjustment. So it definitely feels quicker with it, but definitely, the longer we run, the looser it's going to get. Just looking at those tire pressures, I mean, it's already at 24. I mean, by the time we get to the end, it's going to be pretty high. Really, I think we could probably go quicker than that if we had the right lap. What's up, Lou? We're going to do the Coke 600 tomorrow, which should be interesting. That's going to be full race. But yeah, it's gonna be something. It's gonna be something. Let's take a look at our lap times here. So our quick ones were with this setup here. You know, 14.7, 14.7, 14.8. The ones we were running before are all really generally in the 15s. So we are gonna roll with this one, which again was a gift. So we'll take it. But let's hop over to the race session and get it. Yeah, long ass race, 400 laps, I believe it is. Yeah, 600 miles, it's a mile and a half track. So that will be a huge race. It is going to be a forever race. Say, bring your, you might want to sit down with that one in your pajamas, because that one's going to go long into the night. That's just the way the 600 runs every year. I can't remember how we did last year in the 600. I think we did okay, if I remember right. I think we finished like middle of the pack. I know we didn't do great, but let's look at the entries. Any guesses that we're like the 2 car or the 1 car? Of course, we're the 1 car, naturally. So we got 12 cars in here, not 14, so 2 people bailed. So, again, well, whatever. Let's go out and practice, because we still got full tape on it. We're gonna have to wait for him. That's fine. I think I'm fine with that. Alright. Well, I'm fine with that. And again, it's kind of crazy the way that this series runs. I know, man. You should have seen it yesterday. We had a ton of people in here yesterday. I think we had like 25 people in there. Not much, Dawson. So we just hopped into the race session here. So we should be going qualifying here shortly. So just for setup, I'm going to put a little bit more stagger in it. Just because we can do that. But results-wise, and what I was getting to, and I just kind of jumped off topic, was if you jump in and you're in a really good split, man, you can get a huge slice of humble pie in a hurry. And if you're not in a really high-powered split, what's up, Chris? If you're not in a really high-powered split, you can be the 1 car, you can put down a very mediocre time, which we qualified damn near dead last yesterday, and you're fine. I mean, really, we could have brought out the old setup and run mid-pack right now. So it's just weird, you know, like, so it's like you get this kind of false sense of, yeah, we got to win, you know, but at the same time, it's like, how competitive were you against the people who are, you know, on your level in terms of iRating and stuff? That's the weird thing. The people who have super high iRatings, they rarely race fixed because it's a level playing field. I mean, those guys, I mean, they practice, and they practice, and they run 1 race. So we still got a little bit more practice to go. So let's just go out here with the extra little bit of stagger we put in it. See what this thing drives like. When we're now bouncing off the wall. we had to pedal it pretty hard right there. So we're gonna pull that back out, honestly. Oh yeah, this is not for qualifying. Like, well, sorry, not for long runs, Lou. We're gonna set it back to what it was, which was, I think it was 375 originally. So we'll run into that. Just looking at what the competition is here, but we'll set it to 1.5 for right now. But let's go out and qualify. There's only 12 guys here, so I mean, really, it shouldn't be a big deal. If this is kind of any indication, we will likely end up sitting on the pole, provided we don't wreck it, you know. And for us, that's not a huge stretch of the imagination. What's up, Michael? Good to have you on, man. Alright, so we put down a 5, which is fine.
Checker flag this time by.
Yeah, Fury, don't think we're that good. I mean, I will be straightforward and honest with you. We're not. You can watch the show. Shut her down, driver. You can watch the show we did yesterday, and that will tell you kind of just what I was alluding to. And I don't know if you just hopped on, but again, you can jump in with a really top split, a nice split, strong split, and you can run middle of the pack or back of the pack and just not have any speed. We got a decent finish out of it, but yeah, I mean, did we have anything to contend with Geoff and, you know, the guys who wrecked out of the lead? No, we didn't, not at all. But you can come here and take the pole by what, 0.2. I mean, again, it's just not accurate. You know, it's it's hard to get a grip on things, you know, when you're running like that. Hard to understand where exactly you're at, you know. Yeah, exactly. And people like Lou and Geoff, and some of the other people that have, you know, contacted, you know, me through private messages and stuff through iRacing and everything, you know, with setup help or, you know, giving a setup or something like that, you know, that's great. And those people are not common, you know, and really it's only because of this channel, you know, that I have that, and that's something that most people don't have. You know, people like, you know, Lou and Geoff and everybody who are really, you know, willing to help and show you what's going on, and really, you know, help you learn. That's something that I wanted to do just because that's the only way you get better, is to explore new stuff and try new stuff to see
All right, man. Line up on the inside
what
row.
happens.
Get ready
And
to
again,
close.
we are still learning a lot. So it really is a learning experience, and it's good to run in these packs where, you know, we can, you know, get up front and learn how, honestly, to learn how to lead and learn how to win and put down qualifying laps and do that stuff. It's great to get a win, but I mean, we're the one car. We ought to be winning this race, you know, if iRating means anything. Now, will we? Who knows?
It's the main car.
I mean, at least we've got a couple cars in here to work with, unlike, I think it was like Oxford. I think we had like 6 cars or 5 cars. We won that race, but and we were the class of the field, but man, we made life hard for ourselves. Hell of a lot harder than it needed to be. And so this one, so with the air pressures as high as they are, in the setup we ran yesterday, we could pretty much just mat it and go. This one I think we can as well. We're not going to be able to matter. We're going to have to kind of ease into it a bit, but I think we'll be okay.
Green next time, bye.
Versus second gear, which is just a little bit slower. Anyway, well, here we go. We'll see how this thing feels after 8 laps. I think we'll be okay.
Get ready. Alright, man. Pace car's in. Green, green, green.
So also, I will point out, we don't have all that tape on the front, so it's a little bit tighter now.
Five laps to go.
Kiri's hanging right with us here. He's driving a lot harder into the corners than we are. And he just got into the wall back there behind us. And I say it every time, but car feels a little tight. Especially right through the center right there.
See, this is what happens when you have the best creepy.
Did Brandon stop in his spot? Is that what just happened? Yeah. So yeah, Kiri's definitely blowing his stuff up. Let's take a look in the garage. 29, 29, 25, and 25. Again, I mean, it still feels a little bit tight through the center. I mean, if that makes any sense, but yeah, kind of hard to say. I mean, I'm almost tempted to just put a little front stagger in it. It just feels like 1-1 is really low in terms of front stagger, but again, that's just me. And again, we're using this setup that we borrowed from somebody, and the gearing is very different than what we had. So we were running a longer gear, which is definitely slower. You too, Kiri. So we'll wait for these guys to go. What are we doing here? There we go. So it looks like we got, what, 5 cars in this one? And then Ryan's like not even here. He didn't qualify. He didn't do anything. He didn't grid up. Where's the 6th car? 6th car is not on track. So if we wanted to loosen it through the center, I mean, would we be doing... What would that be? That would be front bump, right? Tighten our braking and turn in. So I mean, yeah, we could just, let's just back that out just a click on each side. Just to say we did something. These guys should be coming to the green here shortly. guy should take off pretty quick. We'll focus on the 9 car. Actually, let's focus on the 4 car. And props to the 7. Running that old Dylan scheme. That is a Mark Martin ASA scheme. I love it. Oh, 9 like missed a shift or something. He's going to be side by side with Logan. Pace car. Yeah, let's look at the pace car. Yeah, we're not really hard on the brakes here. I mean, we're not driving it that hard in the corner. God. Hold on to it. Oh. Junk. Junk. And he's over. Tumbling. Medic. Well, the good news is for the 2, he will survive, and the 4's towed out as well. So we got, what, 2 cars on the track right now? We should have 3. Yeah, we got the 7, the 9, and the 12, I believe. It's gonna be, there we go, heat 2. So running 14.8, 14.7. What were we running? We were running like 14.9s the whole time, and we were taking it relatively easy. But ultimately, I think that our car feels pretty good. Like long run, it didn't really seem to really fall off. So I think that we're okay, you know, at least for 8 laps anyway. Pretty pedestrian right here. So it's just the 12, the 9, the 7's way back here. We'll go to the chase on him. So Amsoil Dylan, I believe, I know Amsoil was an early sponsor of Mark Martin's. He ran that 2 car. Which, by the way, if you guys haven't listened to it, and I've talked about it before.
Line up on the inside row. Pit road is closed.
Yeah, we're going to do this series again, Daniel. No doubt. It's going to take a while for us to get decent at this, you know. I'd much rather put more focus on this than, like, running the trucks once a week or running the Xfinity car, you know, once a week. If we pick one of those and maybe do one of those once a week and do this more consistently, I think that's going to make us better in the long run. You know, in terms of our iRacing career anyway. If you want to look at it that big, but did you all know Aaron's Big Nerd? Oh, yeah. So, Mark Martin's podcast is very, very good. And what's interesting is he talks a lot about setup stuff, which is fascinating. To me, anyway. I find this more fascinating than, you know, than anything. And I know it's only a simulation, but I find it just so cool, you know, that, you know, these guys, especially in real life, they experiment and they do all these things. And, you know, Mark Martin was talking about at one point they had worked this car so much and had so much weight in the left, you know, that they ran it without a right rear spring. Don't wreck before you get from to bathroom.
All right, man, we're going green next time. Bye. Get ready.
Alright guys, here we go. Start on the pole on the main. That's all we can hope for.
Alright, man. Pace cars in. Green, green, green.
mean, overall, this feels more like a 40-lap car than some of the other stuff that we've driven. It doesn't feel like it's about to go over the ragged edge.
You got one outside. Just clear high, clear high.
That was a little bit closer than I wanted him to be. And we're trying to save a little bit here. But again, if we got to drive away, we got to drive away.
Alright, man, caution is out. Caution is out. Line up single file. Pit road is closed. It's the 8R.
So the question is, if we stay out, is everybody else going to pit? Even though I only ran 8 laps. I mean, we're going to stay out.
Pit road is now open.
Somehow the 9 cars behind us? I don't know what happened there, but I think I didn't see it, but I think they might have wrecked me. Kiri's out. Good race, Aaron. Hard, good driving. I'm out of here. Last 4 days. Well, that's cool, Daniel. I knew you were having that problem before. It was just dumping you. We'll ride this pace. These pace laps out. The 11 junked it. So that's a bummer. I mean, he was behind us.
Pit road is closed.
Yeah. Kansas is a fickle beast. I like it. I'm really disappointed we didn't run there. That I didn't get a chance to do it. Yeah, it's like I said, that kind of broke my heart a little bit that we didn't get a chance to do it. But good news is I believe that we'll be going back there at some point. I think Kansas is on the NASCAR schedule twice, but that's where it's at.
Alright, man, we're going green next time by. Alright, man, line up on the inside row.
Alright, can't we launch in first? We can. I think this will probably be the last time on this set of tires we'll be able to do it.
Green cars in. Green flag, green flag.
Bring up the relative just for Brandon. Just for Brandon, because he showed up today. Again, we're not running the bottom, kind of running through this middle lane here, and then especially 3 and 4 diamonding, just because 3 and 4 is much tighter than 1 and 2. Like 1 and 2, the car will turn pretty decently. Three and 4, the car likes to get tied up off the corner. taking it pretty easy into these corners here, so sure is trying to save that right front and that right rear. We're starting to gap Steven just a little bit. Starting to get lappers on the radar here. Just a little brush to the wall. Now we can call it an Aaron race. Yep. So it's funny, we're running a little bit slower, like backing the corner up, and the lap times are actually picking up because we're not overdriving it.
Got one inside. Stay high. You're on the low side. Stay high. Clear low, clear low.
Right now it's just a drive. We got 2 seconds on the guys behind us. Of course we got a car stop down low.
Caution is out. Caution is out. Line up single file. Extra 8 car.
Dude.
Past the 10 car. Pit road is now open.
What's up, Geoff?
Lucky dog, let him by on the outside. On the outside. Let the 10 car by. He had the position.
Well, the 10 car tried to kill
came
us.
out.
That's okay. Yeah. Whoops. Whoops. Well, it looks like we're gonna have what, 7 laps? Looks like that's what it's gonna be here. Say 12 back there. Weaving. So let these tires just cool off as best as we can. Yep, should we get 2 to go next time? So, yeah, we'll have 7 laps, it looks like. It feels good. I put some stagger in it for qualifying. That's what I did. Real men talking caps. Race, craft, all in caps. Where's Chris?
Past the 12 car.
Steven. I don't know what Steven's doing. Say, where I used to work,
The road is closed. We have 10 to go this time by.
where I used to work, I mean, yeah, you got frowned on if you didn't type in all caps, you know, just because that was just kind of the way the business was. I mean, you wrote everything in caps. mean, even emails you sent, just all caps, which is like, I don't want to yell this message, but here goes. Well, Davis, it's fast in this split. I'll say that. It feels really stable. I will say this, Geoff, about this set. It feels really consistent. You know, we had a decent run there. I mean, we ran, what, I think it was 8 laps. And then up to this point, so we ran another 20 laps right there. It still felt pretty good.
Alright, man, line up on the inside row. Get ready.
Alright, let's see if we can not get dumped here.
Alright, man. Pace cars in. Green flag, green flag.
Back to pulling away here. Just kind of go back into cruise control. So we were pulling away from him, no sweat, before.
5 laps to go.
See skid marks. Oh man, it started to get loose right there. We ended up pointing down the road there. Two to go. White flag, brought to you by Credit One Bank. Well, relatively drama-free. I'll take a 0x win anytime. Now, Steven tried a little bit of drama there.
Next thing you know, Boston will win the series.
See, it was on our door on that restart, but we were able to pull it out. Yeehaw. Now, do we get playoff points? That's a really good question. Do we get playoff points?
The race is over.
Yeah. Take that. iRock cars aren't supposed to do burnouts, but that's okay. Well, Geoff, there we go. We finally got you a win in this paints game. You're in the chase with that win. Hell yeah. Hopefully we can make it through tech. Well, that was fun. I mean, really, there's not a lot to review there. We had a couple restarts. I want to see what happened to the guy who finished second in our heat and then also wrecked out pretty early. I want to see what happened with those guys, you know, but and then we'll show the old burnout. So let's go right here. Ought to be pretty close, because I think it was lap 8 where it happened. Maybe it was lap 7. Because this is Kiri right here. He's got the 9 car stuffed up under him. Ugh. Ugh. How the hell did that happen? Let's go to the chase. Yeah, I mean, two things. I mean, the 9's not up to the wall and the 11's coming up, so. Damn. I swear, man, nowhere is safe. Oh, Jesus. Alright, so he quit after that. Now, let's see. Really? Every time. Go to the pace car and you just die. So, that restart right here. Oh, we just dusted him right there. And I don't think it was really close at that point. We just kind of walked. I do want to see what happens with the 10 here under caution. Just see how close this actually is. So let's go to the chase. And this was actually a decent sized wreck up here. Right there. So he slows down. Alright, alright. Let's go back and see what happened to these guys. Yeah, the guy who's pointing the wrong way. We want to see what happened to him. So he's racing pretty close with the 3. Man, the 3 is way up the track. He's about to hit him. Oh, he's blinking. Okay. Oh, the fork bounces off the wall and just cleans him out. And there we go. Somehow they fixed that. I'm not sure how. Oh, they fixed it right at the end. So let's go to the last restart. You can see kind of what Sean was doing here. I mean, he got up on our door. Just a little bit. I think he ended up finishing second, yeah. And Andrew, I forgot to tell him nice paint job and a pole shot dog. Welcome to Super Lights. Yeah, we didn't do the Polish victory lap. We did a burnout. Which I'm not huge on burnouts, but I just wanted Geoff to be able to get a good screenshot, maybe. Or maybe we'll get a good screenshot for Geoff. But the 12 hung with us. He got loose right there. And again, he's just way up the track. We're just driving around. So overall lap time wise, 8:50 was the quickest lap that we ran, but if you look, I mean, even on the older tires, we were still capable of running down in the 15s. 35, we're still running 15.085. So we took it easy last couple laps there. It wasn't really a push, especially that last one. But that's the win right there. Now let's go ahead and pull up the Boyne out. And I will pull up the finishing results while you guys watch that. 93 was the year I became a fan. I was at the 92 Atlanta race with Davey and Bill Elliott and Alan Kowicki. Walking down the straightaway, yeah boy, yeah. Then we got 2 out of shape right here, and that the banking's picking up, so we just skid it in. All right. Well, overall, I think that was pretty cool. I mean, yeah, it was a weaker split, and you can't really fault us for that. But I mean, hey, we finished first. We're in the 1 car we're supposed to, So strength of the field isn't all that huge, and I'll let me pull you guys over here to what we got. Again, single split. 1295 is the strength of the field. We were the highest one with the 33. Well, it was a 32 and change, but now we're back up over 33. So, but what's nice is 40 laps plus the 8 laps plus the qualifying, everything 0x, 0.24 safety rating. God, do we need that? Now, Coke 600 will help a lot tomorrow, provided we can keep the nose on the car. But yeah, so again, championship points. We won this race. We only took home 77 points. That speaks to the strength of the field more than anything. So only took likes. Well, it was kind of a dominating win. You know, you can't please everybody, and I don't mean dominating to toot our own horn. It's just we really nobody really challenged us throughout the whole day. I think we had um, the 11 car get to our outside at one point, and he wasn't even there. He got there in the middle of the corner. We drove off, and we were clear by the time we got to the straightaway. So, Coke 600 runs at 9 p.m. tomorrow Eastern. So we'll do that. Your burnouts need work. Wow, tough love, Geoff. I like the rolling burnout. I like the rolling burnout. I don't like a donut. Is a burnout or a donut? I'm more of a burnout guy. So I think a lot of it too is the smoke settings, the graphical settings. I don't have them set all that high, so the smoke's just kind of eh. So anyway, I appreciate you guys being on the stream. As always, like, subscribe, get notifications when we go live. It's always 10 times more fun. John Force burnouts are the best. 10 times more fun to have you guys on the stream, in the chat, especially with these open setup deals where we can kind of see and walk through everything together. And I can have Sensei Lou in here and Geoff. It's good to get wins. You know, Geoff got one in the big split. Good for him. You know, that was a wreck he couldn't avoid, but that was worth watching. That was fun. But anyways, until the next time, guys, take care.